All right, new week. I took last week off because I didn't really do any art things last week. It was a lot of like work and errands and stuff like that. Today happens to be Sailor Moon's animated premiere anniversary 30 years ago. Oh my gosh. So I'm wearing my hair in little buns to celebrate, and I think this week I'm going to be doing a lot of like Sailor Moon fan art to celebrate. So that's just something I want to do for me. Yeah, done with work for the day, and all I want to do is make some art, but I have to go to the grocery store first, so I'm going to do that. Then start making some artwork to put up in the shop soon. So yeah, right, Panini? Right? She's right here, hanging out as usual, her spot. Yeah, yes, so let's go run some errands and then I'll make some art. So for this piece, I'm trying a technique that I've seen one of my favorite artists do, Babs Tarr. I don't do this as often because it definitely adds more time to the drawing process. Essentially, it's making my sketch digitally, printing it, and then using a light box to ink my line work on that final piece. I normally just do the whole process on paper, but when I have a more elaborate idea, I'll do this longer method. First, I'll draw my sketch in Procreate and clean up the line art. This is the most fun part because I can be loose and not worry about mistakes or leaving pencil marks everywhere on the final pieces. But now I'll hit the dilemma that I usually have when doing sketches digitally. The intention after this part is to print out this sketch, but sometimes I love the sketch so much that I just want to finish the whole thing digitally. I usually end up doing both a physical and a digital piece in the end because I can't help myself, thus also adding more time to the whole process. I go back and forth on making traditional marker art drawings and digital pieces all the time. I would like to make more prints of my digital artwork eventually, but if you've seen my previous vlogs recently, you know my old printer has a habit of leaking and leaving unintentional streaks. My first purchase after the wedding and paying off those debts will definitely be getting a new printer because I really want to make more prints. So now that I've printed that page, oh, wait, I realized I did not resize my sketch to be 8 by 10. It's 8.5 by 11. So I'm gonna reprint this. And now it's the correct size. Inking with the light box feels different and a little weird, but I like it. I always worry that I won't end up liking my line work when I turn off the light, but honestly, it looks so crisp when I do this process. So again, back and forth on wanting sketch lines in the final piece and having it crisp. My mood changes back and forth between the two. Woo! Line art done. Now I'm gonna let it sit around for a bit and dry so I don't smear the ink in the coloring process. In the meantime, I'm gonna work on some more art cards for my shop. If you like these art process videos, let me know in the comments and hit that like button. Here are some Michiru and Haruka drawings. Gotta also wait for this ink to dry, and I think my Princess Serenity should be ready to color by now. So I'm just using Copic markers and keeping it simple. I'll use my Posca markers afterward for details and highlights. And done. Here's what they look like side by side. It's a matcha latte and no makeup on my face. I don't care. I've been watching a lot of this anime called Blue Period lately. I watched it once in Japanese, then I read all of the manga that's out so far, and then I started watching it again in English. I love this anime. It's about a high schooler who discovers his passion for art, and as a result wants to get into one of the most accredited art schools in Japan because it's also the cheapest school to go to, but because it's the cheapest, most competitive. And so it's about his journey discovering art and learning and all of that. It's so good. Highly recommend. It's been so good and motivating for me because the show goes through a lot of like art theory and talking about tools and techniques and style and what it means to be an artist and what you're trying to express, and it's just like,
as we draw, we tend to get close to the paper, so check from a distance every now and then. Keep in mind the difference between near and far. Take special note of the brightest and darkest regions of your canvas as well.
It's like an art meal. Yes. And for me, it's been a while since I've been in art school, and some of the lessons do repeat from when I was in college to watching the show, but it's wild to see the show and see those art lessons done as an adult. I think as a teenager and as a young adult in art school and trying to figure out life and everything that was going on, it was harder to accept the lessons that maybe the teachers were trying to express. And I want to say, even in this show, I could see the same lessons being taught, but the show is doing it in a way that I can understand versus some of the stuff that I was taught in school. And I don't know if that's a perspective of just being older now and understanding like, oh, I see what they're trying to say, this matches up, versus like, you know, I was like 18, 19 years old in school and wanted to just draw cartoons and fuck still lives and da-da-da-da. I was doing it because I wanted to get an A. But now I'm like, yeah, no, that makes a lot more sense.
Do we really need to learn about still lifes? There are so many talented artists online that say they've never worked on still lifes.
Sure, you're right. It's true. Everyone must find their own way. Without learning still lifes, you can still paint well. However, out of all the training methods, it is the easiest to get into and the quickest way to make progress. It's like learning a helpful formula which can be applied to anything. It can improve your technique and observational skills.
I wish the teachers would have explained it better, because in the show they're like, this is why you do this and this is how it's going to help you do the cartoons that you want to do. Versus like, cartoons aren't fine art, don't do that, do this. You know, like that's kind of how I was taught it. I appreciate how this show has like re-sparked a lot of like motivation for me. It's making me explore why I like the styles I like. I think it's also why I've been in this like 90s anime aesthetic. I'm going back to like the early fascination with art fields that I had in like middle school and high school, which was very heavily influenced by Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball and Ramna and like all of those like kind of cartoons that did kind of seep through in that time period. And I'm enjoying feeling the passion for those shows again. So far, I've been really loving it. I got these two kind of washi tape sticker packs. In it, it's like these very cutesy little like styles. Each one's different. A lot of it is like, there's some Dragon Ball in here and like various, but it's this like kind of like 90s, 80s aesthetic vibe. Stuff like this. I hesitate to stick them everywhere because I want to just open this book and go like, ooh, I'm going to use this as inspiration today. And using the information from Blue Period, I started breaking down like what in these like little styles that I really like. Breaking it down to the point of like, is it the colors, is it the line art, is it all of that? What is the combination here that's making me feel really drawn to it? What expressions and feelings is it trying to say? And it's making me think about my own artwork in that context, which feels hard, but like good. It's like tickling my brain in all the right ways. But the thing I think is what's drawing me to it the most is the hyper femininity of it all. It's just, I wish I knew who these artists were. I suspect these books were probably made by like taking other artists' stuff online. Like they're from China. I have no idea. They were like $1. And I was like, well, I need some stickers. Let me check this out. Kind of hoping that they were like all consistent. But yeah, if I ever find out who did these art, I want to follow them and give them money, because this is some good stuff. This is some really great, good little vibes. Like, oh, I love it. Look how like girly and cute and like moody that is. I want my work to feel like this. I've been kind of stressed out about having to make a bunch of art and focusing on my shop and thinking about what kind of art that I should be making to sell as much as I can, because I have financial debts and goals that I'm trying to hit, and you know, this is at least one way I could do things that I like doing to make money. But it's nice to kind of get a reminder that I can make things that I really enjoy making and not necessarily things that I think will be sellable. And I love that, keeping that in mind. And I really appreciate that anime has kind of brought that back into the forefront. So yeah, gonna make some more art right now. Makemake's getting groomed. She needs it. She's a little stinky girl, and she's getting a booster vaccine, so she's not happy. But you know, gotta take care of my little girl, and she's gotta be fresh. She needs a fresh cut and to not smell like poop. So she's home, all groomed. Yeah, I know. You had a day. You're so soft and clean, though.
I love that she loses like 10 pounds.
She's like a whole new cat. They left a little tuft on the end of the tail. And Panini inspects.
Good work, Panini.
I'm on my way to my bridal shower. I'm gonna have a bridal shower. Ah! They make you taller. You wear them on your
High heels.
Small plant that doesn't need a lot of water.
Succulents.
I'm participating in one in a month from now.
Wedding.
Yes.
I'm participating. I like the choice of word.
Bridal shower success! Yay! It was really fun and cute and great. Great. I am so happy to be joining Max's family. They're just the best. They're so sweet, and yeah, it was good. It was very, very good. I'm so grateful. It's time for soccer. I am tired. Oh, we lost 3-0, but honestly, we played really, really well. I only played a little bit from the first half because I hurt my knee a little bit earlier last week. Exercising. The best way I can explain it is like, you know when you ever rolled your ankle, but you're still able to walk, you're like, oh, I tweaked it, but then you're walking on it and it's fine. You're like, okay, I'm good. But then when you're resting, you feel like a pulsy feeling on your ankle. I have that on my knee. So I played a little bit in the first half, and then as I was, I subbed out and waited on the side, I could feel my knee just doing that weird pulse, and I'm like, I shouldn't keep playing. So I didn't end. It doesn't matter if I played or not, because the rest of my team is really good this season. Like, we got some new players, everyone's really good, but like the other team just had a little bit more experience, so we were at 3-0, but not for us trying. Like, I can't even say like the shutout felt like a shutout, like, because it was like, oh, we're keeping up, it's just kind of bad luck. So yeah, that's what happened. I'm going home now. I'm gonna rest, take an Advil, ice my knee, maybe draw a little bit more, but I think that's what I'm doing for the rest of the week. I'm done. Yeah, I'll see you guys next week.